Well, Steve, let's switch gears a little bit and go into the market side. How has the crypto markets, how has it recovered since the fall of FTX?
So when FTX collapsed in November of 2022, that was kind of the cherry on the top of the sundae that was this crypto winter. Kind of forgive me for the tortured metaphor here, but I mean, Bitcoin dropped, I would say, about like another 27% or so after FTX collapsed, on its kind of like bottoming out. I think somewhere around 15,000 or so after it had been as high as 69, 70,000 in November 2021, so just 12 months ago. However, the market has pretty much recovered from the FTX collapse. It's still ways off from the 2022 collapse, where I think somewhere close to $2 trillion worth of value was wiped off of the total crypto market cap. But it's kind of, I guess, recovered from the FTX bottoming out, which also sort of led to the bankruptcy and closure of a bunch of market makers and just overall liquidity in the ecosystem. But a question I'm getting a lot, and I think sort of this is where you're going, Rosemarie, is just trying to figure out, like, what does this mean next for crypto? Like, where does it go from here? We're about 11 months now since this happened, and for the most part, I think the industry is still trying to figure out its way forward. I mean, it's still looking for those killer apps. It's still looking for those use cases. I mean, right now, I think an argument could be made that the best use case for crypto is, or the most successful application for crypto is stablecoins, and those are controversial in and of their own right. And I think one of the things that kind of casts all this in stark relief is sort of the explosion of AI and large language models, and like ChatGPT that just exploded. They really kind of came to prominence around the time that Sam Bankman-Fried's empire collapsed, and we can only see that we've been following this year how much those companies have grown, how the stock prices of Nvidia and any other firm, even tangential to AI, is continuing to surge. And meanwhile, crypto is still kind of moving along, trying to get regulatory clarity, trying to find those product market fits, and trying to push back against narratives that it's really just a tool for speculators and charlatans and the like. Now, that's not exactly a fair analogy, I don't think, because AI has actually been around and has been developed for much longer than Bitcoin and cryptocurrency has. I mean, AI has gone back decades. Crypto is still only about 15 years old, which I guess is still relatively young, and there's a lot of regulations because it touches on finance that have to be handled right away, as opposed to something like AI that I think can kind of have a bit more freedom to move. But like, those are the consequential questions that we're looking for right now. And the one thing I also, so we're still trying to find answers to that. And but the other thing that I really want to caution or make listeners think about is wondering. I'm concerned that the further we get away from FTX and Sam Bankman-Fried, the more we're going to see the same types of issues come up again that led to the collapse of FTX and Celsius and Voyager and BlockFi and Genesis Global Trading and so on and so forth, which is basically all these levered up firms with poor risk management that engage in these incestuous marketplaces that whose fates are all tied together. I mean, we've heard this both, Rosemary, over the last few years from influencers, like saying, like, this time it's different. Crypto is different. Crypto doesn't necessarily have to abide by the same laws of finance that the rest of the markets have to. And I actually saw a quote from Peter Smith, CEO of a pretty veteran crypto company called blockchain.com, give at a conference a couple of weeks ago, where he said that he doesn't think that leverage and credit like this, like unsecured credit like this, is going to happen again. And I kind of snickered and laughed when I heard it, because there's no way that's not going to happen again. As soon as the market recovers, people start feeling good again. They think the prices are only going to go up. Everything's going to be great. It's going to happen again because someone's going to try and push the envelope, and then we're going to be right back here. And I don't necessarily want to see that happen. I want to see clear regulations so that crypto companies know exactly what rules they have to abide by, and they can fight on an even playing field to try to find that product market fit that they want to have so badly.
Thank you so much for joining me today, Steve.
Great. Thanks, Rosemary.